Okay, guys, this is part 2 of chapter 3, and I'm recording right where I left off at. What we're going to do now is we are going to continue on with the chapter work, and again, you don't need the book. And if you like following me on these videos, you don't need the book. Some students like to get the book and kind of read on their own, but what we're going to do, per the author's request, is we are going to come to the city layer again. We're going to literally click on frame 1 here. I'm sorry, frame 10, holding the image. And we're going to change some animation on this. So we are going to move to frame 10. We are going to come over here to object, and we're going to click over here on object. I'm going to close this out. See that where it says color effect? Color effect. We want to come down here and we want to click alpha. And we want to move that alpha to 0. Now, I do want to say something. When I originally started, this happens once in a while. I started this chapter kind of walking through everything, and for some reason my alpha was not showing. I would click object and I couldn't see this color effect at all. So what I did, and this might happen for future files, I had to convert it to a symbol, a master copy, before I could edit it out. So I had to click this and convert to a symbol. So we already added the motion tween on it, which made it into a, let's see, right click. You can also convert it to a symbol by doing a right click. See, it's already a symbol. Convert to symbol. But anyway, you got to have a master copy of this before you can really do any editing. That's the whole point of converting it to a symbol. Anyway, let's get to the editing. The author is saying go into the object panel of the property. So you got to click in property, click in object, and now click down here to color effects, choose alpha, and then drag this to 0. And then we are going to slowly animate that to be seen. So next we are going to move the playhead to roughly frame 40. So there it is right there. I'm on frame 40. And we're going to make sure we still have the city image selected, which we do. You can see the blue box. And in the property panel, we're going to set the alpha here to 100% now. So here, we're going to go 100% and we're going to let go. Now, you see that little black dot that just occurred? That means we did a change. We did a change. So I moved it back to 100% and the layer is interacting with us. And now the author is going to say hit save. So we're going to, first of all, before you hit save, let's make sure we rename it something other than start. So we're going to go save as, and we're going to save as chapter 3 working version. Let's go, oops, no period there, working version. And we're going to hit save. Okay, now the author is asking us to take a peek at what we just did. So I'm going to hit this top right icon, test movie, and we're going to take a look at what we did. Okay, it looks good. And as I previously said, it'll automatically reloop. The animation will reloop like it's doing right now. And so that animation, we should be easing into the alpha of the city. Let me watch that one more time live with you guys here. It's getting ready to reloop. Yeah, that slight, subtle transition of viewing the city was perfect. Okay, perfect. All right, now we're going to move on to something different. We are going to lock this layer because we're done with it. We're going to go one layer up. We're going to unlock the woman layer, and we are going to move the playhead to the beginning of where everything starts happening, which for this particular case is right here, frame 23. So We're going to select the instance of the woman on the stage if it's not already. Literally click that, and you'll see your options come up. And we're not going to be able to see her because there has been previously an alpha applied to her. But we're going to add a filter to her. So what we're going to do is in the property panel, click the add filter button. So first of all, let's kind of back out of this a little bit. Here's the filters. I want you guys to see all of this. So I'm in property panel, object, filters. Make sure you click on her to see all of this. We're going to hit the plus sign. We're going to add a blur to her, and we're going to set the X and Y values. So for X, right here, the blur is going to be 20. And by default, Y is going to automatically go to 20 because we have that locked there. And then we're going to move the playhead to kind of scrub it out, to kind of preview it. There she goes. She starts coming back into play, into focus. You'll see. And then select frame 140 on the woman layer. Make sure you're on the woman layer. There's frame 140, and insert a keyframe in the timeline. So we're going to go insert, timeline, keyframe, because we're getting ready to make a change here. This is another way of doing things. And then we just did that, establish this keyframe, select frame 160. So we're going to come over here to 160. We're going to lay out our path of animation. We're going to insert a keyframe here. And we're going to add this, and then we're going to select the object tab in the property panel. So we're going to go object tab, property panel, and then we're going to change the blur, the X and Y, to 0. We're going to put it back to clear, essentially is what we're doing there. Okay, so what we did is we just cleared it up. Okay, and now we're going to quickly, let's just take our scrub, our blue player here, and scrub it, which means we can go back and forth and see how she clears up because we added that keyframe. Excellent. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to add a car. We're missing a car. So we're going to roll up here. We're going to lock this layer for woman. We're going to come up here to the car section. We're going to add a layer. And it added one down here, but we want to just simply drag it up to the car section. And we're going to name it left car. Left car. And we're going to come over here to, let's see, the author's asking us on this layer to go to frame 75. Click it. And we're going to drag the, we're going to go to the library, we're going to drag the image, the movie clip, onto the stage. So that gives me an opportunity to teach you about something here. Right here, the car left is a pre-established little animation, not to be confused with an image. So that icon is showing you there's kind of a little movie. We're going to drag it onto the stage here, just like that. And we're going to select the free transform tool, which is right here. It's the box with the little ticks on it right there on the stage. You're going to click it. You're going to see the handles appear. And while we're holding the shift key down, we're going to drag a corner inward to make the car smaller. So I'm going to hold the shift key down, and all the shift key does as we drag it is it keeps things in proportion. So I'm going to kind of drag it there. Now we're getting ready to reposition it. In the property panel, you are going to click the property tab, and you're going to make sure the width, the position size, click that. The width is about 400 pixels, 400. All right, and then We're going to move the car to a starting position of X being 710 per the author, 710, and Y being 488. 488. Type that in. Good. And then in the property panel, in the color effects section, choose alpha. So we're going to come down here. I'm going to close this up. I'm going to choose this one. I'm going to choose alpha. Click it down here. And the author is asking that we make sure that the car is set at 0 alpha, which makes it invisible. And then we're going to choose create motion tween from the button right above the timeline here. So I'm on the left car, and I'm sorry, I'm looking at what the author's asking us to do. Create a motion tween. All right, so I'm going to show you we can right click it. Right click has a big menu on it. And we can create motion tween right here. And then we're going to move the playhead to frame 100. Oops, what just happened? Frame 100. Okay, I'm still on the left car. There it is. And we're going to change the alpha back to full viewing. So click on Properties, Object, and then here's the color effects alpha, back, 100%. Okay, now the position isn't right. We're getting ready to fix that. And now we are going to position the property and the dimension of the car to fit better. So we're going to click the position and size. Now the author is saying the width of the car right here should be 1380, 1380, and the height should be 445. Okay, so click enter and you'll see that the size of the car just changed. And don't change the size of this box or anything. Now we're going to position the car over here on our XY. We're going to position it at 607 and at 545. Now, these numbers, 607 and 545, these are rough estimates, but this is the visual of what you're wanting here. And you see that animation that's already been made for you? That's what we're getting ready to play out here. Okay, let's make sure we save this here. And now all we're going to do is, I think we should take a look at our work here. Let's hit play and see what we have so far. My animation here is playing awfully slow, so it makes me want to double check a couple of things here. You know, let's see, the frames per second seems to be fine. And yeah, that should be fine. Let's see. I'm not sure why that's playing so slowly, but I'll take a look at that. And let's finish up a few more requests from the author. So we're going to come back to the car, and the author is asking that the left car layer be in the middle between the middle and the right car. So we simply are just learning here that we can drag these layers. Remember, the top layer is the foremost visible, and it could be buried by a bottom layer, could get buried by something on top of it. Okay, so for now, I'm going to go ahead and save this part 2. I'm going to stop here, and we'll finish this up in the next video for part 3 of chapter 3.